it's time to call the May 28, 2024 Ward County Board of Education meeting to order. Our first order of business is the pledge, and this evening we're going to ask our new secretary to do pledge. Lead us in pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heather isn't new, but she's done this a time or two, so I told her if we get to moving real fast, if she misses something, to wave her arms, so you guys, you see her waving her arms and I'm off in space somewhere looking at. Okay, first order of business, first formal order of business is the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Okay, as we look down through, under routine business, we have a name in number 4 and number 5. Under employment, we have a name in number 1. Number 2 has been struck from the agenda. We'll come back for consideration later. 3, 4, 5, 6 have names in the agenda. 7 also. 8, 9 are struck from the agenda. We'll come back. Number 10 has a name. Number 11 is struck. 12 and 13 have names in them. 14 has been struck. 15 has a name. And I believe that's it. Did I miss anything? Any questions about the changes or the updates on the agenda? Hear none. We have a motion to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. We're down to recognitions, and we have 2 young men here with us this evening. We're going to recognize for Golden Horseshoe winners, Bishop County.
So each year, our 8th graders across the state, as part of their West Virginia history class, compete in a Golden Horseshoe test. And each county's top 2 scorers are recognized as Golden Horseshoe winners and actually are knighted at a ceremony at the state capitol. So it is with great pleasure that I present to the board this year's winners. We have Holden Van Camp and Adrian Hartford, and we have certificates from signed by me and the West Virginia State Board, or West Virginia Department of Education Superintendent Michelle Blatt to present. So if you would come up and we'll give you your certificate and we'll get a picture for the paper. Really appreciate you coming out and joining us for us to honor you this evening.
Holden. Congratulations. That's really big honor, guys. Congratulations. Guys, if you have to stand in front, we just want to get around. Okay, if you wouldn't mind, let's have one of the young men step out and we'll have his parents come up. We'll do a picture of parents. So we'll put you aside for a minute. Parents, sisters, grandma, come on up. Come on up. Did I send the wrong young man? Yeah, I did. Okay, we'll take this young man's parents first. I'm sorry. Yours right there, sir. You're fine right there. Thank you. Congratulations.
Good job. Good job.
Come on up, folks. Good to see you, John. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Parents, thank you for coming out and raising such good young people. Okay, we're down to our monthly attendance report. Mr. McCown?
So Mr. Smith is going to present this last month of school's attendance report.
Folks, you are welcome to go. You will not hurt our feelings, and you won't hurt our feelings if you stay. Your call.
First of all, I want to apologize for having some connectivity issues, but this is in your folder here for tonight's meeting. In regards to the month of May, we sent out 34 household letters, 5-day household letters for absences. The average attendance in school by district as of May 22nd was primary center 93%, middle school was at 90.1, and the high school was at 88.3, and the average county attendance rate was at 90.5. In regards to the year-to-date attendance rate, the primary center was at 92.4, the middle school was at 91.5, the high school was at 91.2, and district-wide it was 91.7. Year-to-date chronically absent student rate, primary center was at 21.3, the middle school was at 25.9, high school was at 29.9, and district-wide was at 25.6. And I'm proud to say that, and I'll bring this information next month for the yearly report we compared to the year before. We reached our goal at the high school of reducing the chronic absentee rate. That was our goal. We just have to find out by how much is what but we didn't reach our goal. So that was good through our community and schools representatives help. Enrollment, the primary center is at 345, the middle school is at 263, and the high school is 276. For a total enrollment of 884, and also I caught a typo, the total enrollment had increased by 3 in comparison to the March and April attendance narrative. The primary center increased by 4 students, the middle school by 1 student, and the high school increased by 2, which caused the 3-student increase in enrollment to take effect. In regards to grade, pre-K was at 67 as far as enrollment. Kindergarten at 54, first at 48, second at 54, third grade is at 64, fourth grade at 58, fifth grade at 55, sixth grade at 68, seventh grade at 74, eighth grade at 66, ninth grade at 65, 10th grade at 75, 11th grade at 69, and 12th grade at 67. And like I mentioned earlier, I'll come back next month and discuss comparing last year's attendance, enrollment, chronically absent, all that, and more thorough for the whole year next month. I'll come and do that as far as that goes. Anyone have any questions or concerns? I know I went through that pretty quick, but.
So was the absentee in May more than, is there more absentee at the end of the year?
Well, I looked at that, I'm glad you asked that, and not as much as you'd think. I think it was pretty consistent. I was looking and analyzing that. I thought there was going to be more of a drop than what there was. There was probably a percentage difference between that and the prior months. There wasn't that much difference to be. And in the past, sometimes the bottom does fall out in May because of, as I call it, senioritis and some other factors, but it didn't fall out as much as I have seen it in the past.
Any other questions from Mr. Smith?
I noticed we did have one student with perfect attendance. That was
Yeah.
hard to imagine looking forward.
That's good. Yeah. That's good to see.
That is hard to imagine nowadays. It ain't been
I know what you mean. Any other questions? Yeah, they should be proud of that, yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
All
Smith.
right, thank you.
We're down to approval of minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the May 14th, 2024 regular meeting minutes?
So moved.
Any corrections, questions, comments? Here none, we have a motion to approve the May 14th, 2024 regular meeting minutes. All in favor say aye. Aye, opposed say no. Ayes have it. On to finance. Any motion to approve the payment of invoices in the amount of $88,139.20.
So moved.
Mr. McCown.
So for your consideration this evening, we have one run of invoices on 5/22/24, totaling $88,139.20. Noteworthy in this, Education System Solutions, $7,200. Professional development, really good stuff, $10,496.50 for summer packets. 95% group, $11,670 for reading materials. All of these invoices total $88,139.20.
Any questions, comments? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve payment of invoices amount of $88,139.20. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those say nay. Ayes have it. Need a motion to approve budget supplements in the amount of $2,964.45.
So moved.
Mr. McCallum.
So 2 budget supplements for your consideration. The first in the amount of $296.45. This is a special ed grant for training stipend from WEDE. And the second in the amount of $2,668. This is a special ed grant for assistive technology. These two total $2,964.45.
Any questions? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve budget supplements in the amount of $2,964.45. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. We have no budget transfers tonight. Okay, need a motion to approve changes and revisions to Worth County School dental and vision plan.
So moved.
Mr. McCallum.
So I'll let Mrs. Cummings chime in here and speak at length to that, but it has been some time since we have updated the amounts that we're paying with those things. And if you have bought glasses or been to the eye doctor or the dentist lately, it's high time that we update some of those amounts. So, Mrs. Cummings has crunched the numbers and put forth this proposal, and I'll let her speak at length and answer any specific questions that you might have.
So the Worth County Board of Education, it actually offers free to its employees a dental and a vision plan, and it's funded by the Board of Education. Now that plan, I researched it, we've been, like within the last 4 or 5 years, has ranged from anywhere from around $80,000 a year up to around $100,000 is what we pay out for what we have right now in our plan document, which I brought with me tonight. Now, we pay a third-party administrator, and that's the reason that we're looking at it right now. Our third-party administrator was HealthSmart. They have now been bought out by UMR. Well, in the transition from HealthSmart to UMR, they are making me go through each and every line item. So I'm learning all kinds of vocabulary words dealing with dental procedures. As to what we will allow and what we will not allow. So as a result of all that painstaking effort, it has come to the conclusion that we are not up to date with where this plan should really be. And as we've made this transition, the people have even pointed out that, and have given us a list of what they are seeing as current trends on the market for dental and vision plans, and mainly it's our vision plan. The dental is actually pretty good, but we wanted to tweak it just a little bit as well. So for your approval for tonight, what we've proposed thus far let's do dental because it's shorter first. So on the dental plan, we would like to propose doing away with the deductible on the plan. Right now, it's currently at $25 per person that's on there, with a family deductible of $75. There is no deductible on the vision, so to make it comparable to the vision plan, we would like to propose just eliminating that. So based on that cost, I had them run some numbers for me, and it looks like it's going to be on average about $4,435 a year. Based on what they've been seeing out there as activity. Now, in addition to that, we would also like to add, because this is becoming more and more, now remember, this plan was written in 1990, early 90s. I can't remember the exact year. I want to say 96, but I'm not 100% sure. but it's in the nineties when it was originally done. So implants probably weren't even a thing back then, but, our person has told us that they are becoming more and more, but they are nowhere covered in our document. So we propose that we, at their suggestion, that it be added as a major benefit and covered at 50%, but it would still have to fall under the maximum of $1,000. Our plan does limit $1,000 per person. So if you've had an implant, they are very costly. So obviously, you're gonna max out really fast, but hey, it's at least there and will provide some financial benefit to you for that. So we ask that implant be covered on there, as well as eliminating the deductible for the dental side of it. Now on the vision side, a number of changes on it, because it has not kept up with anything. So what they did, they looked at a year's worth of services and the types of services that were given. So our current benefit and vision on exams, currently we pay out $30. Again, there's no deductible, but on an examination, we only do 30 in vision. We proposed, at their suggestion, to increase that to $50. On frames, we only do 30 for a set of frames. They propose 75. Single lenses, we do 30. We like the number 30. And they propose doing that to 100. On bifocals, 39 up to 150. Trifocals, 45 up to 200. Lenticular lenses, we didn't have any in that category, but right now we only pay 66, and it would go up to 200. On contact lenses, from 60 up to 100. Disposable contacts, the same. And medically necessary, from 240 up to 300. And then in addition, we would also add a max coverage for LASIK surgery at 1,000, and that would be a lifetime maximum. Again, that's becoming more and more common, and we just asked to add the new procedure to our plan document as well. I did ask on the dental and on the vision about the $1,000 limit, because that is from our original proposal back in the 90s. And they stated actually 1,000 to 2,000 per person is what they're seeing. And then of the ones that they actually went and looked at for both plans, only 4 people had actually maxed out on that. Probably someone with orthodontics or something like that, since we didn't cover implants. But so the $1,000, we weren't gonna bother it. In total, right now it looks like if we go with the suggested changes for vision, we're looking at a possible $6,146 increase. And then of course we don't know how much, if anyone would take advantage of the LASIK procedure being covered up to 1,000 as well. So those are the reasons why, looking at the plan and possible changes that we have there.
Karen, could you give the figure again?
Which one, vision?
Both increase.
Okay, on the dental, it's $4,435 to eliminate the deductible. And then also, I don't really have a cost to add the implant, but we'd like to add the implants at $1,000 plan maximum per year. On the vision, we're looking at an average cost right now of $6,146, plus adding the procedure of a lifetime maximum for LASIK at 1,000.
Questions for Karen or Mr. McCown?
Yeah, so on the dental proposal,
Yes,
from the amount spent in 22-23 to the amount spent in 23-24, looks like it went down by about 25,000. Is that correct?
Yeah, what you see there so far, yeah, for the plan year is a number.
Okay. And then, from which, are these costs, is the county being the insurer? Or is it going through another, provider?
Well, the sum of bill, the way they've laid that out, it's kind of misleading. That's the actual bill that comes. So we would actually be the ones covering the column on the right. So like on dental, like the $152,000 that you just saw there, on the right-hand side, we actually paid out $72,000 for the $152,000 in claims. So the rest of that could be going to other insurances, if they have a secondary insurance, or to themselves personally, but it's paid elsewhere, not through us.
Yeah, a lot of times that, in the past, I can say it went up and down by year, if there was I was telling Brandon this, that I can remember when we had teachers that we had a bunch of kids, teachers, staff, students that got orthodontics one year and shot it up just because there was that 40, 30 kids that got it. Next year, or the years down the road, there wasn't as many students that got that. And it also seems like when we have a big retired group of staff members, okay, it'll go up because they will get their new glasses, get their teeth taken care of before they retire. So it just sort of always, we can never quite figure out where it's going to go.
So for each individual service, the county would pay for that service.
Yes.
Not like we're buying a policy and a large carrier then would.
Yeah, we're self-paying.
We're self-insured, so we're actually, like, if they would go for an eye examination, we're saying we're only gonna provide you with the benefit, right now it'd be $30, but we would like to have that increased up to $50 as to what your employer's gonna pay for you for this dental, insurance coverage, or vision coverage, rather.
And this is the selling point when we look at new employees and they come here, they have a choice between a couple of different counties and they see that we have this benefit and other county does not. It's a selling point for us being able to get new people.
Mr. Conley, you know how this compares to Wood County and Rowan County? So what I'm wondering is, how does this compare to people that we would be recruiting for pool out?
So,
Road does not have any.
Wood
Road,
County used to have the Cadillac of dental, and they were getting to where it was becoming a fiscal liability, so Wood County, my last year there, had revamped all of that and brought that back into the scope that I think is similar to what this is going to be.
And Rome doesn't, I don't want to speak out of turn, but I do not believe Calhoun does either.
I doubt that county
Yeah.
would, because they don't have an excess levy. With an excess levy, the excess levy does not provide for this, but it does ease the financial constraints to allow us to be able to provide that other funding to our employees.
And it is time to raise those, for French. You can get a set of French for 50. I don't think you can get a set for 30 anymore, so it's time. Okay, any other questions for Karen or Commissioner McCown?
Would cataracts surgery, would that be under the health end of it, or would that be
That would be, cataracts would be under the health end of it.
any type of operation? This is just for vision.
Yeah, LASIX is a good add-on too. And implants, but
Yeah, those have just evolved and, we just have not updated and kept up with it.
yeah.
So, Even though the
They
transition
might
to
cost
this,
a little bit more now, but they, in the long run, they might actually not cost as much if that person isn't gonna have to go back and keep having that dental work for the implants or has LASIK and doesn't need the glasses anymore. You know, in that long run, it could save.
I mean, it's bad that HealthSmart got out, but, by UMR, but as a result of it, they are very meticulous. I mean, we've spent hours on the phone going over how is it that we view this? And then they said, well, you know, have you ever thought about looking at this, because it is behind, what other current plans are offering?
Okay.
And then, one more, is this offered to the employees only, or would their dependents fall into these plans also?
Yes, dependents are included. Yeah, so it's only full-time, regular staff, and any of their dependents. So, and as long as the child is in college, and they have to prove their, what do you call it, full-time
Yeah,
status.
send them a letter to show they're enrolled.
Yeah, then they remain covered, but then once they are no longer in college, then the terms at that point, or on their 23rd birthday, maybe, whichever. 23?
I'm not
I
sure.
can't remember, have to look. But, yeah, it terms at that point.
It's a good thing for our employees. Okay, so we have a motion to approve, let me get back to it here, the teachers, or the change in revisions to Worth County Dental and Vision Plan is presented by Mrs. Cummins. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Thank you for that work, Karen. Okay, we're down to number 5. Need a motion to approve teachers' annual service personnel monthly, substitute teachers, substitute principals, supplemental salary schedules, and extracurricular salary for the 24-25 school year.
So moved.
Mr. McGowan.
I will turn this over to Mrs. Cummings. This is her baby.
All right, first off, we'll look at the teacher's annual salary schedules. So I think in your packet, Heather put it in your packet, I believe it started out with teachers. And it's a bunch of columns going across, so I'll just try to go through the columns just so you kind of have an understanding of how it works. So the teacher pay raise was $2,460. So these schedules reflect that. Now, as you read across the very first one, it starts out as 4th class. Let's just skip ahead a few pages and go to AB. These classes at the very beginning are for people who are, what's the correct terminology, Mr. Metz? Clinical teacher of records, is that what they're called now?
That is
Where they
what
don't have a degree, but we're able to employ them as they are gaining their education. So based on what stage in their education career they are, if they have 100 hours, then there's a formula that tells me which of these classifications then to pay them from. So they would actually get paid to be a teacher here for us while they're gaining their education certificate. But at AB, so a teacher who would graduate and start with us with a bachelor's degree, and that's on page 4. At AB, the total salary on the right-hand side with 0 years of experience is now going to be presented to them at $45,015. So, now this formula here, the state goes through and they calculate how much the state's going to provide and how much we're going to provide of this $45,015. So the state basic is $41,455. The state gives out what they call, used to be called equity, but now they call it the state supplement of $2,360. But then they say, stop, hold your horses, because back in 1984, you had a county supplement in place that was equal to $1,250. So what they do is they subtract that out from what they're gonna give us. So they said, well, I was gonna give you $2,360 in this state supplement, but no, since you had this 1984 county supplement, I'm taking that away from what I'm gonna give to you. So therefore, they only give us $1,110 of that. But now the total county supplement that we have currently really is $2,450. So that's the $1,250 plus the 2 raises that we've given since then. So now the way that we get to the 45,000, we take the 41,455, we're gonna add the 1,110 plus our county supplement equal to 2,450. So that's how we get to the 45,015 going across. So for any county who did not have a 1984 county supplement, their people truly are benefiting 100% from their county's efforts to give them a local pay raise. But because this county was proactive prior to 1984, the state is actually taking $1,250 of that county supplement away from what they would have already provided to us. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You don't have to like it, as long as it makes sense.
Every time we talk about this, it just
I know, it makes me mad
infuriates
too.
me.
Yeah, and there are other county school systems like this in the state as well, in the same boat as we are, but it's so many millions to get it back, to give that back to us that they don't even consider it. So, but that is how these schedules are calculated. So there's your very quick summary of the teachers' annual salary schedules.
Karen,
Yeah, yes.
do you know what that was last year? If the total for, 0 years at AV is 4515 this year, well, 24-25, what was it for 23-24?
I know, let me see. See if I got that with me.
I'm gonna guess about 44,300.
No, I don't have it with me, but calculate it. $42,555.
The whole 240, the whole 2040 started this year. Okay, I thought it started after that, besides 650 started the year before, but it didn't start this year.
The
42,555?
$42,555. Are you talking about the local pay raise last year? It was 400. Any other questions on teachers?
No, I'm just, the reason I was asking is so we could see, the increase from last year to see if that is keeping up with, inflation and cost of living changes.
Yeah, and whenever we get into the budget, you'll see some of those more. On service personnel, it works basically the same, except they do theirs on a monthly basis. I don't know why, but they do. And it starts out with pay grade A. We don't have anyone in pay grade A or pay grade B. Our people start at pay grade C, which is on page 3. And the pay raise for service personnel is $1,400 a year across the board. So on a monthly basis, $140. And so that would be the difference that you would see here on the salary. And it works the same way with the state basic plus their supplement. Then they took our 1984 county supplement away that we provided, which was $100. And they only subsidize the difference there. And then our true county supplement with everything is $220 now a month. So for a person beginning on pay grade C with 0 years, it's $2,736 a month, or $27,360 a year. So that would be for a 10-month contract. That's where they would start. On substitute teacher pay scale, that's the next one. We're starting in for a substitute teacher with AB and 0 years of experience. Daily rate is now going to be $165.82. And once they reach day 31, calculating substitute pay is so much fun. You have 3 different scales of pay. One for 0 to 10 days if they work, one for days 11 through 30, and then whenever they hit day 31, you have another whole complete pay scale. So that's why there's so many different scales. But on day 31, a substitute teacher with A, B, and 0 would actually be making $225.08 a day. And substitute principals, we did go ahead and do calculations based on pay there as well, just in case we would have any there. There is a sheet that shows you the principals and assistant principals increments. These are the state mandated increments, and that schedule is based upon their degree and the number of teachers that they supervise. And that's for principals and assistants. Now, we're down to the schedule that's called Schedule of Supplemental Pays and Indexes. Are you there? Keeping up with me? All right. Okay. I highlighted in yellow. Got you some color going now. All right. Down under professional stipends, I tried to show what a difference would be. I think it's time for us to look at professional stipends. You just saw on a substitute teacher schedule, just with beginning day 1 pay, a substitute teacher makes $165. As it stands right now, on a stipend for teachers to come in the summer, we're only paying them $150. So we're recommending that be raised up to $200 a day or $30 an hour, but maxed at $200 a day. Right now it's at $150 a day. And then the other change, so that we don't have to keep revisiting this each year, on board members, your pay is dictated by state code, or it's permissible up to the maximum allowed by state code. Instead of stating what that maximum is, currently it's $160 per meeting. I just simply wanted to take that out and just put maximum allowable as permitted by West Virginia code. So that way, whatever that dollar amount is, and as it should change in the future, we don't have to keep coming back here and revisiting it. Right now, it's being proposed beginning in July, it'll go to $260 per meeting. So those are the 2 changes on that schedule that are indeed changes that are before you to vote on. And then the last schedule is your extracurricular assignment schedule. And that is basically just a compilation of everything that you, I'm hoping I got it all, in there, of all the changes in your extracurricular assignments that you've made. So I think I've got all the assistant coaches added that were in there. I think I got all the positions or the contracts that you eliminated. And I think I've got the other ones that you have authorized in there. So I think this is a clean slate until someone tells me otherwise. I went through board minutes and tried to track it all the way through, but it looks like on locally funded extracurricular contracts, we're looking at a total of $150,896. And then on our ones that come out of projects that are either federal or state project funded, They're coming in at $26,800 for a total of $177,696. Questions on that I can answer?
Any questions for Mrs. Cummings on the supplementary salary schedules? Okay, hearing none. We have a motion to approve the supplementary salary schedules and extracurricular salary for the 24-25 school year. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. We're down to the FY 24-25 budget, and we will have a recess meeting here after Karen goes through. But the motion will be to approve the 24-25 proposed budget.
So moved.
Okay.
It's been a busy time of the year, and I think Mrs. Cummings spent her long holiday weekend crunching numbers for the budget, so we appreciate the work on that, and I'll turn it over to you to go over the proposed budget for next year.
Okay, so we've been getting numbers in, and so hopefully the State Department, they're always changing numbers, so I think I've got three sets of computations now, and there'll probably be some more coming, but hopefully we're close to calling this a good number. The total budget as we have before us for tonight is $17.6 million is what we're gonna look at. That's broken down into the general current expense fund coming in around $14.6 million for capital projects, and so we're setting aside monies for future large improvements or any SBA matches that we might have. And then our special revenue, those are those state and federal grants that come in. And right now, that's low because we don't have all final numbers yet on that. So it's coming in right at $3 million. So in total, $17.6 million. I gave to you a handout, and it has about 12 pages to it, and it has 2 slides per sheet. So instead of doing a PowerPoint, this way you can see the numbers right in front of you. I'll just go through those, and as you have questions, just shout them out. And I don't know if I'll have an answer at this point or not, but I'll try. All right, I want to go through the changes, and those are the big ones, and we kind of already hit upon those because of the salary schedules. State's pay raise is $2,460. Again, that's for professional staff only, and that's based on a 200-day contract. So if someone has a contract length greater than 200, then the pay raise is going to be equitable to the contract term. On service personnel, for a 200-day contract, it's $1,400. Again, to reiterate, the board member pay, it is going up from $160 to $260. And by your motion to approve the salary schedules, that is now set, that we will just go with whatever is maximum in state code. And I think they've done some other changes to board member trainings, but you probably maybe have been versed in that. I think you get paid now for 2 trainings, and the number of board meetings, they've decreased that, but we never exceed the maximum, but I think it's down to maybe 40 out of 50. But there will be some trainings now that you can be compensated for. PIA is a biggie. It went up an average of 10.5%. So for a family coverage plan by the board, it used to be maybe 12, 14,000, somewhere through there. Now we're in excess of 16,000 per person if they choose family coverage for insurance that the board pays. Also as a change, now we early implemented this and we utilized our ESSER money, like to call it the COVID money. People kind of identify with that, but we utilized it to go ahead and put second grade aides in this school term. Now those second grade aides now will migrate over into the county budget because those are now being picked up and mandated by the State Department of Education that those be funded. So for FY25, second grade classrooms that have greater than 12 students have to have an aide. In FY26, third grade classrooms, and I believe it's the same pupil count of 12 students. in a classroom, they will have to have an aide, but we are not early implementing for that. So there will not be any additional aides at this point in time. Our state aid budget, we are heavily dependent upon it, and it's imperative that we stay close to funding formula because 72% of our budget is derived from it. It's a 10-step budget calculation, and it's based on the number one most important date, October the 1st, because that's what our enrollment count is. At that point in time, head count was 899 students. I believe Mr. Smith said we're down to 884? So we've come down even since then. On a full-time basis, that 899 students is actually really only 894, because some students only come in for some services, so therefore we can't count them for the full day. Those are mainly 3-year-olds that come in for some type of service. Now this is the adjusted enrollment, because we are unique that we do not have an enrollment over 1,400. The state provides us with supplemental students. I call them ghost students that just magically get added to our enrollment count to help us out. And it's a very complex formula, and I don't have enough of the information to be able to make that calculation myself because it's dependent upon other counties and what their enrollments are. But with the ghost students that get added, we're in that enrollment funding. We got 229 students. So altogether, our adjusted enrollment was 1,128. And thank goodness that they do that because, our actual enrollment 894. So we're lucky that bill got passed. And it would be nice if they could get us up to the 1,200 mark. I believe it's us and Calhoun, I think, might be the only two that are actually less than 1,200 students, even after they give us the ghost students. On page 3 of your handout, the 10-year enrollment trend. In 2015-16, well actually no, in 2018-19 looked like that was our biggest year, coming in at 1,088 students, and then you can see it progress steadily down, and then in 23-24, now we're down to 894. That's just to give you an idea of where we've been and where we're going. Students, just at a glance, for funding purposes, it takes 24.75 students to actually equal one position, and that's for professional staff. But if you actually look at, once you calculate the ghost students in there, it's actually 13 students will actually equal one position. Let's skip on over to page 5. Step 1, professional educators. Employed, we have 82.11 educators that are state aid eligible employed. Now, we do have more educators employed than that, but some positions are not state aid eligible. That would be those that are funded with federal funds, and we have, I think, I know there's a total of around 13, but that includes professional and service together. But there's other positions, like my position is not allowed to be within the state aid formula. Child nutrition is not allowed to be in the state aid formula for director. So there are other positions that are very specific. We are allowed in the funding formula to only employ 81.75, so we're over 1.75 on professional. Now, on the service side, this is where it's actually 19 students equal a service job, and then you can see where they've actually increased the ratios. So the current ratio is now 52.36 service per 1,000 enrollment, whereas before it was 49.1. So that's where they allowed for the aides to come into play. So it's already in the calculations that we're looking at. On step 2, that's our service personnel. We actually have 59 employees that are state aid eligible. The others are within federal grants. We're allowed 58, so we're over 2.9, so almost 3. Now, student support personnel. That's step 5 of our funding formula. That's nurses, counselors, social workers. On page 7, we have, of those classifications, we have 4 of those individuals employed, but we're allowed 5.6. So we have 4 employed, but we're allowed 5, so we're actually under 1.6. But we don't lose the funding for that position. So they still go ahead and give us the dollars for that. I don't know how long they'll keep doing that. I don't know. Because if you look at it, there are several counties that are under on this particular step 5 of the funding formula. But, so we don't get penalized. On the bottom of page 7, I tried to summarize on professional personnel. So we're over 1.75 on professional educators, but in step 5, we're under the 1.6. So that leaves us, we're like right on the total number of professional personnel employed. So we're 0.11 over. But since that point in time, I've had to absorb 1 special ed position from ESSER because we had 7 positions total over there. I had to figure out what to do with. And we've added a psychologist. So now we're 2.11 over on professional staff. All right, on your service, if you remember from the previous slides, we're almost 3 over, 2.93 over. But remember, we paid for those 2nd grade aides out of ESSER money, so I had to bring them in now, plus another aide that we had over there, plus we've added an LPN. We did do a reduction in force of 2 cooks, so that leaves us net, we're right at 6 people over on service. Our workforce right now as it stands, I think, it keeps moving around a lot. I think professionally we're at 102 positions that have been authorized. We have 65 service positions for a total of 167. At this point in time, we have 10 vacancies. So within your budget, I've tried to budget thinking of like middle of the road, like someone with a master's degree with so many years of experience coming in, because I don't have any idea who's going to come in. So I'm trying to leave some cushion in there. It could be someone that's an AB degree with no years of service, so we'll have some cushion there in the budget, or it could be the other way, MA 45 with lots of years. So it's really kind of hard to budget with this many vacancies and have it come out real well. But we've got 2 bus driving positions that are now vacant. We have 1 school secretary, because she'll be, that's for the elementary school. She'll be coming over and joining the board office, so we'll have that vacancy to attend with. We have 3 special ed teachers, which is, we've really struggled in that area the last few years. Thank goodness for our retirees, they've held us together on that. We have 1 Spanish that we still don't have filled, and we've been doing that virtually, but that still employs 8 person there to moderate the class. We have a 1st grade teacher position that we still need to hire. Now we're going to have an elementary principal. And then we have that position called behavior intervention support teacher that we need to also look at due to people switching around. So we still have lots of vacancies yet to fill. On page 9, just to reiterate, ESSER money is going away on September the 30th. So I will squeeze out as much salary as I can, because I can get about 3 payrolls out of there, that I can, and some of it, I mean, it's so restricted that, yes, some of it is gonna go back. And that's common across the entire state. There's one pot of money we've touched very little of, and it was after-school tutoring and after-school activity of that nature, and the whole state is the same way. But for the most part, we've been able to take care of the other restrictions, and had 3 set-asides, but that set-aside there, we will be returning it, and I think it's around 40,000. The general fund, in summary, is 14.6 million, and that's an increase of 1.1 million from last year. And the salary line on page 10, it alone increased 732,000. They had across the board raises. We've had to absorb those ESSER funded positions, and we've added additional positions since then. And sadly, PIA has also increased about 191,000 since last year. Now, just looking at the budget as a whole, by area, instruction and student services is about 66% of the total budget. Administration is coming in about 13%, and then transportation and facilities swallows up about another 21% of the budget. But by the type of expenditures that we have, I mean, we're a labor-driven business, and on page 11, you can see in your pie chart, salary and fringes is about 82%. And the rest of that little chart there, that 18% is what we've got left to pay everything else. So that's your utilities, your textbooks, the insurances, your maintenance supplies, all of that, utilities. So 82% salary and fringes. So after I can get that part nailed down, the rest of the budget's really easy because there's not a whole lot left to play with. That's your quiz, Heather, for afterwards. 82% salary and fringes. And then of the salary type of 82%, I did a final breakdown of it just to show you that salaries is 62% of that, and then you can see that insurance makes up 13%, retirement and workers' comp is 15% of that chunk. So in summary, your total budget on page 12 is coming in at 17.6 million. The general budget is what we just concentrated on. It's at 14.6, that's your local revenue and your state aid. And then the special revenue is coming in at 3 million, that's the grants, and that's also food service. Food service alone is about 1.4 million. It's a big project in and of itself, and it's over there under the restricted projects because of the federal reimbursement that is associated with it. And then in capital projects, we're gonna try to set aside another 100,000 to go in there, and we're right at about $500,000 is what we've accumulated in the capital projects fund right now. So that's a big overview of your budget for next year. Any questions?
Questions from board members for Karen before we go to the public recess?
With this budget based on how much we have coming in, how much of a reserve is helping us? Do you know what the percentage would be?
Yeah, the reserve that I have in here, very good question. On the white stapled sheet that I gave to you, on the second page of it, under estimated budgetary reserves at the very bottom, you see the total budget for the general fund is 14.5 million. And right above it, it has the estimated reserves right now at 110. So I've made a note to myself, that's about 1%, and the state recommends 3 to 5. So whenever we get our carryover in, and I know that number, that's one of the items I'm gonna ask that we increase, because they would like like to see a 3 to 5% contingency built in there. And right now, I have not put that in there.
And if it's not the 3% that they'd like to see, doesn't the state come to dictate our budget? What happens if we don't have?
They're only gonna come if we're in the negative. And then, even then, we've had some counties in the negative where they still didn't come. They have to see some dire things going on, other than just not meeting this is just one criteria that they look at and evaluate. They've actually come out on a point system of indicators as to what they want to see different factors in, like they're now grading me on, the annual financial report. Are there findings in it? Did we get a clean report? On the budget, some of the factors here will be how many errors were noted on this, that they deem to be errors of not properly budgeting, like not enough personnel. But on the contingency, they will look at it to see if that's going to change. And the final number is what they will evaluate that on, the final contingency number.
And do we have an estimate on how much that's gonna roll over into that?
The amount that I need in there, I need about another 300,000 to 400,000 to meet their.
Right, how much do we anticipate coming back in if we're allowed to roll it in?
It'll be in excess of 2 million.
Okay, so at this time, I will entertain a motion to recess for public hearing regarding the 24-25 proposed budget.
So moved.
I have a motion to recess for the public hearing regarding the 24-25 proposed budget. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. We are in recess. Anybody in the public wish to make a comment or ask a question, please do so. Okay, we're not going to belabor it. Give you plenty of time. Okay, so at this time, I will entertain a motion to return to regular session from the public hearing regarding the 24-25 proposed budget.
So moved.
And we have a motion to return to our regular meeting after recess for public hearing regarding the 24-25 proposed budget. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Ayes have it. I did say opposed, didn't I? The first time I think I did, yeah. All opposed say aye. Mark looked at me and I thought, yeah, okay, I caught that. Okay, so we are back in regular session, and at this time, if there's no further questions from the board, I will entertain a motion to approve the 24-25 proposed budget.
So moved.
I'm sorry, we already have that motion. We had that motion before we started. So at this time, all in favor of approving the 24-25 proposed budget, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, did I say opposed again?
No, you did
I
not.
Those
was
opposed say
paying attention,
nay.
make sure you wouldn't try to trick us.
Okay.
You tricked us in the first place.
Okay, because we had the motion before we ever started the conversation, which is what you're supposed to do. Okay, so we're good there. Okay, so we're down to personnel matters. Okay, at this time, need a motion to accept the resignation of Melissa Emerson, Principal, Ward County Primary Center, effective June the 30th, 2024.
So moved.
Mr. McCown.
So her letter was in your packet. She has accepted the principalship of Marietta Elementary School, and wish her all the best in her new position.
Any questions for Mr. McCown? Hearing none, we have a motion to accept the resignation of Melissa Emerson as Principal of Ward County Primary Center, effective June 30th, 2024. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, need a motion to approve the resignation of Vicki Lent as bus operator, effective June 30th, 2024.
So moved.
Commissioner McKinley, anything?
So her letter was in your packet. She's been off on leave for some time and has some things going on and decided it would be best to tender a letter with us, so, wish her well.
Any questions? Here none, we have a motion to approve the resignation of Vicki Lynn as bus operator effective June 30th, 2024. All in favor say aye. Aye, opposed say nay. Ayes have it. And need a motion to approve the resignation of Emily Wilma, special education teacher, itinerant, effective immediately.
So moved.
Commissioner McKinley.
So her letter was in your packet. We just hired her, but she has accepted a job in Calhoun County. And, so bringing that back to you and we will repost.
Any questions? Here none, we have a motion to approve the resignation of Emily Wilma, special education teacher, itinerant, effective immediately. All in favor say aye. Aye, opposed say nay. Ayes have it. And then number 4, have a motion, need a motion to accept the resignation of Jessica Faze as PBIS coordinator, Ward County Middle School, effective end of the 23-24 school year.
So moved.
Commissioner McKinley?
So just to clarify, this is for the extracurricular contract that Mrs. Stace has, that is the PBIS coordinator for the middle school. Her letter was in your packet.
Questions? Here none, we have a motion to accept the resignation of Jessica Faze as PBIS coordinator, Ward County Middle School, effective at the end of the 23-24 school year. All in favor say aye. Aye, opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, number 5, need a motion to accept the resignation of Clinton Fowl as head football coach, Ward County Middle School, effective May 24th, 2024.
So moved.
Commissioner McKinley?
So his letter was in your packet.
Any questions? Here none, we have a motion to accept the resignation of Clinton Fowl as head football coach, Ward County Middle School, effective May 24th, 2024. All in favor say aye. Aye, opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, we move on to employment. Need a motion to employ Ashley Gano as School Title I Support Specialist at Ward County Primary Center, and that will be effective July 1, 2024.
So moved.
Mr. McCown.
So back in the writ transfer, we abolished a couple of extracurricular positions at the primary center. We have rewritten and combined those back into one that you authorized here recently. We posted that, and Ashley Gano is the successful bidder on that extracurricular contract.
Any questions? Here none, we have a motion to employ Ashley Gano, School Title I Support Specialist at Ward County Primary Center, effective July 1, 2024. All in favor say aye. Aye, opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, number 2 will come back to us. So number 3, we need a motion to approve Chad Strimmel as Technology Coordinator, Ward County High School, effective for 24-25 school year.
So moved.
Mr. McCown.
As you recall, he is the TIS that we hired for the high school. This is the extracurricular contract that goes along with that, and he was the successful bidder for that extracurricular.
Any questions? Here none, we have a motion to approve Chad Strimmel as Technology Coordinator, Ward County High School, effective for the 24-25 school year. All in favor say aye. Aye, opposed say nay. Ayes have it. And then number 4, need a motion to approve Jennifer McAllister as part-time Ward County School Positive Behavior Interventions and Support, PBIS Coordinator, effective for the 24-25 school year.
So moved.
Mr. McKenna?
As you recall, this is one of the many extracurricular that Callie held at the high school, so since she's moved to the middle school, we have posted, and Mrs. McAllister was the successful bidder on this extracurricular.
Any questions? Here none, we have a motion to approve Jennifer McAllister as part-time Ward County High School PBIS Coordinator, effective for the 24-25 school year. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes carried. Okay, we're down 5. Need a motion to approve Jeanette Roberts as summer program teacher, Ward County Primary Center, effective May 31, 2024.
So moved.
This is the last summer school teacher that we posted so many, this is the final one to fill.
Very good. Any questions? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve Jeanette Roberts as summer program teacher at Worth County Primary Center, effective, I lost my line, May 31, 2024. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, number 6, need a motion to approve Malia Taylor as varsity cheerleading coach at Worth County High School, effective upon completion of her certification.
So moved.
Commissioner Campbell?
So her application is in your packet, she has completed the WBSSAC requirements, but her Form 39 is still in process to get her coach's certification through WBGE, so we're just waiting on that.
Very good. Any questions?
Bless you.
Hearing none, we have a motion to approve Malia Taylor, varsity cheerleading coach, Fort County High School, effective upon the completion of her certification. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Number 7, need a motion to approve Eric Cheeseman as student council sponsor, Fort County High School, effective 24-25 school year.
So moved.
Commissioner McCown?
So again, this is one of the things that Callie did that we had to post, and Mr. Cheeseman was the successful bidder on this next one.
Questions? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve Eric Cheeseman as student council sponsor at Ward County High School, effective for the 24-25 school year. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. 8 and 9 have been struck, will come back to us. Number 10, the motion to approve Samantha Paxson as summer pre-K teacher for student assessment, effective May 31, 2024. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. McCown?
Happy to get a name to add to this, and Samantha does a very good job with this with kids.
Questions? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve Samantha Paxton as summer pre-K teacher for student assessment effective May 31, 2024. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Number 11 has been struck. Will come back to us. Number 12, the motion to approve Holly Boone as positive behavior interventionist pre-K through 5, effective for the 24-25 school year.
So moved.
Mr. McCown?
I'll commend the Worth County Primary Center Selection Committee. They were busy this morning and interviewed 2 candidates to get a name for the agenda today, and Holly Boone was the successful candidate. So bringing that to you this evening.
Questions? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve Holly Boone as positive behavior interventionist at pre-K through 5, effective 2024-25. I'm going to stop right there for a second. The 5th grade is supposed to be in.
Yes.
Okay, very good. For the 24-25 school year, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Yeah, it just.
The person that's at the high school, if there's a 6th through whatever, comes
Okay.
up here, if it's 5th grade, they go over there.
Very good. It's just all at CK5. Okay, so at this time we need a motion to approve Gary Robinson, bus operator for extended school year program effective June 3rd, 2024.
So moved.
Mr. McCown, anything?
Gary has been retired for some time, but he keeps on coming back and helping us out, so I do appreciate it.
Okay, we have a motion to approve Gary Robinson as bus operator for extended school year program effective June 3rd, 2024. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Number 14 will come back to us. Number 15, need a motion to approve Elsie Palace 3 at Ward County Primary Center, Ward County Middle School, effective for 24-25 school year.
So moved.
Mr. McCown?
So as you recall, we had a resignation from a coach at the primary center, and we posted that, and Elsie is the successful bidder for that position.
Any questions? She was at primary center before, right? I think so.
She was before, and then
Very good. Okay, we have a motion to approve Elsie Palace Cook 3, Ward County Primary Center, Ward County Middle School, effective for 24-25 school year. All in favor say aye. Aye, opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, we have two names under substitute general maintenance. If it's okay with the board, we'll take them both in one motion, unless you would like to have one pulled out. Hearing nothing, we will need a motion to approve Eric G. and Philip Harbarcher, effective upon completion of the regular background check and paperwork, and Philip will be effective on an emergency basis only. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any questions? Commissioner County?
So their applications were in there, just like we have Curtis Moore, if we have an emergency, he can drive the bus for us. And they had passed that provision to, if we've got somebody that's fully certified in a different area that they're employed, we can use them as a substitute on an emergency basis if we've exhausted all other regular subs that's on the list. So that's what Phil is. You'll see Phil down doing the same thing with substitute mechanic. In the next agenda item, it just gives us some flexibility to utilize them in a different area, and we appreciate them being willing to do that.
Very good. Any questions about that? Okay, we have a motion to approve substitute general maintenance, Eric G., effective completion of the required background check and paperwork, and Phil Harbarcher, and this is effective on an emergency basis only. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Number 17, need a motion to approve Phil Harbarger as a substitute mechanic assistant, effective on an emergency basis only.
So moved.
I'm glad to see it's taking advantage of that. That was a good move on our legislators' part. I know it'll make it harder for Karen and the ladies in payroll, but on our side, it's a pretty good deal. Any questions? Okay, hear none. We have a motion to approve Phil Harbarcher as a substitute mechanic and mechanics assistant, effective on an emergency basis only. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, number 18, if it is the will of the board, I'll take all 7 in one motion, unless there's somebody you would like to pull out. Okay, need a motion to approve summer band camp instructors, July 22nd through July 26th, 2024. We have Christina Lowe, Horace Stubbins, Christopher Fogg, Nick Bain, James McChesney, Connor McCowan, and Joseph Leslie.
So moved.
Any questions about anybody? You have anything?
So, each year, the band director brings folks to come in and help out with band camp, and you will recognize some of those names on there as past students, and the others are typically folks at Columbus State College that are in the music program that come out of that.
Any questions?
These are volunteers.
Well, we are paying them the huge sum of $350 for a week working in the hot sun with all of our big kids. They get paid that $350 a week.
Any other questions? Here none. We have a motion to approve summer band camp instructors. They will be from July 22nd and 26th, 2024. We have Christina Lowe, Horace Stubbins, Christopher Ball, Nick Bain, James McChesney, Connor McCowan, and Joseph Lutz. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, down to 19. Need a motion to approve the 24-25 professional substitute list.
So moved.
Mr. McCowan.
So I thank Heather for working on this. We get letters out of folks that want to come back and sub for us for another year, and we appreciate each and every one on the list that's going to come out and sign up for substitute work, both professional side and service side.
Any questions about the professional subs? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve the professional substitute list for the 24-25 school year. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Hey, now we need a motion to approve the 24-25 service substitute list.
So moved.
Anything extra on that one, Mr. Hamp? No? Questions about the service substitute list? Hear none. We have a motion to approve the 24-25 service substitute list. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, we're down to new business. Need a motion to approve Glenville State University student residency for the fall of 2024, and that name is Brogan Richards.
So moved.
Mr. McCown.
So the letter from Glenville State University was in your packet. This is going to be a first semester placement in second grade with Kelly Flanagan.
Any questions? Here none. We have a motion to approve the Glenville State University student residency for the fall of 2024, and that is Brogan Richards. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Still have trouble with Glenville State.
It doesn't feel
University.
right rolling
Okay,
off the tongue.
It doesn't roll right, okay? It should be Glenville State College, but hey, it's all good. Okay, we need motion to authorize the position of summer special needs supervisor in instructional bus aid 2. We need 2 positions for this.
So moved.
Mr. McCown.
So this is going to be an instructional teacher's aide and bus aides. When we looked at the students that we've got signed up for summer school, we realized that we need to authorize a couple aide positions for that. So I'm bringing that to you to authorize this evening.
Any questions? Here none. We have a motion to authorize special needs supervision and instructional bus aid 2. And there will be 2 positions. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, and we're down to number 3. Need a motion to approve instructional materials adoption cycle 5, defer an adoption of applied statistics and transition math for seniors.
So moved.
Okay.
Mr. McCown.
We are not teaching those classes, so in our original adoption, we did not include those things. Well, the state wants us to say what we're doing with that, so just to tie a nice bow on that, Carla had asked me to bring back that we are deferring adoption on those 2 items since we're not teaching them currently, and putting that through board action just to satisfy that requirement with WBEE.
Very good. Questions?
So what are, if we're not doing transition math for seniors, then what are we doing?
So,
I know we've had that one for quite a while, so I don't know what we're doing instead.
So the financial algebra is going to be a choice, and I think that there's another choice in there. If they're not taking a higher level math, there's another choice as well.
Okay.
That,
So I knew we did the transition for the ones that weren't in the higher level, but I didn't know, yeah, okay.
no problem, good question.
Any other questions? Okay, we have a motion to approve the instructional materials adoption cycle group 5. We're going to defer the adoption of applied statistics and transition math for seniors. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. I always want to say statistics, okay? Because statistics are statistics. Okay. How about chapter 1 for, if you get a chance?
I'll get an answer to that in email, absolutely.
I forgot about the financial algebra, so that,
Okay, we're down to board concerns. And we'll start with Mr. Sherlock.
No concerns.
You good? Mr. Stewart?
Several meetings ago, we was talking about, agenda in the future, talking and getting down and writing, coaches, volunteers. And, you know, there's some confusion, we cleared some of that up, but I think there's some things that I think we need to discuss as a board and get it in writing so it'll be there for us in the future.
Mr. McCown, if you wouldn't mind, put that on as a discussion item. How do you want that listed, Mr. Stewart?
Just how, volunteers, sports volunteers, coach volunteers, whatever it's called, how we address, in other words, things like, you know, have a coach's signature, if they want them to have, that sort of thing.
Procedures for
Yeah,
bringing those
procedures,
people
right,
on.
yes.
And we'll have a discussion about that, and I agree with you. It wouldn't matter if it did, but I agree with you that
Yeah.
we need to do something with that. Okay, Mr. Wood.
Good.
And I'm good. I just want to say that, end of the year seemed like it just went well. And, graduation was as nice as ceremony I've seen for a long time. The award ceremonies were excellent, and, it just shows all the hard work that not only our students do, but our staff does. Those things don't happen by accident. It takes a lot of work to make those things happen. So, if you'll pass it along to the staff, and
Surely.
we appreciate our principals, staff, we appreciate all the work that they do. I know I saw William more that week than seeing him in 6 months. He was there at everything, taking everything, and we appreciate that. Okay, with nothing else for the good, anything you want to add, Mr. McCown?
No, just, I look at the next board meeting to bring our service personnel of the year and our teacher of the year for recognition. And then if it is agreeable with the retired Teachers Association to bring retirees in on the second board meeting in June and honor our retirees. They always have cookies and a reception for them for the board meeting, so just want to put that out there. That's my tentative plans for next month.
Great, thank you. Okay, so at this time, I will entertain a motion for adjournment. Our next regular meeting is June 11th, here at the cafeteria, 6 o'clock. Motion for adjournment.
So moved.
We are adjourned.